Attention! This episode contains descriptions of systematic violence and moments of authority abuses committed during World War II, extremely disturbing themes based on real historical accounts. Strong discretion is recommended to the viewer, as there are no photographic or filmed records of the abuses. Artificial intelligence-generated images will be used to illustrate the scenarios. Japanese forces launched their Pacific Campaign on December 7, 1941, with the attack on Pearl Harbor, followed by invasions across Southeast Asia and islands. Troops landed in the Philippines on December 8, 1941, capturing Manila by January 2, 1942, and establishing control over key areas. Soldiers conducted raids in villages, abducting local women and girls for military use. In Davao, forces rounded up females from homes, dragging them into trucks amid screams and resistance from families. Commanders issued orders to set up comfort stations to manage troop morale. By early 1942, stations appeared in Manila, Iloilo, and Tacloban, housing captured Filipinas alongside imported Koreans. Recruitment involved deception, promising jobs as nurses or factory workers to lure teenagers from poor families. Abductions escalated in rural areas, with Kempe Thai military police overseeing collections of hundreds per region. Women endured forced marches or ship transports to isolated island garrisons in New Guinea and Indonesia. Stations operated as organized brothels, with military oversight ensuring supply for regiments. In Rabaul, New Guinea, Navy personnel established facilities by mid-1942, staffing them with abducted Papuan and mixed-race females. Survivors like Julia Porras, taken at 13 in 1942, recalled soldiers grabbing her while cooking, throwing her into a truck bound for a Davao station. Commanders documented stations as war supplies, assigning managers to handle daily functions. By 1943, over 1,000 Filipina women faced enslavement in Philippine stations alone, part of a network spanning the Pacific. Indonesian islands saw similar setups after the 1942 conquest of the Dutch East Indies. Troops enforced quotas, abducting adolescents aged 12 to 18 to fill demands from advancing units. Hwang Kum-ju, a Korean taken in 1941 at 19, described bayonets used to strip her before transport to Pacific outposts. If you're finding this historical account impactful, consider subscribing to the channel for more in-depth episodes on Watulo's atrocities. Stations multiplied as invasions progressed, reaching East Timor by 1942, where 1,000 girls aged 14 to 19 were deceived with education promises. Women arrived at stations stripped of possessions, registered, and assigned cubicles measuring 3 by 5 feet. Initial examinations by military doctors often included immediate assaults, as reported by Dutch survivor Jan Ruff O'Hearn in Java, 1944. Facilities segregated by rank, with officers claiming priority over enlisted men in daily queues. Japanese troops maintained routines where women serviced 20 to 40 soldiers each day, starting from morning until late night. Schedules divided time slots with tickets issued to regulate access and collect fees. Conditions deteriorated rapidly with no sanitation, leading to widespread venereal diseases among victims. Survivors like Violeta Lanzarote, abducted in 1942 at 17, endured 3 officers nightly for 3 years in an estancia garrison, facing gun threats for resistance. Beatings occurred for any refusal, using rods or fists. Gertrude Balisalisa described in 1944 at Regan Barracks, where dislocated ribs went untreated. Diseases spread unchecked, with injections of salvarsan causing sterility in many, including Francisca Austari, who bled profusely after initial assaults. Attempts at escape met brutal punishments, including torture or execution, deterring others in the group. Suicides increased, with women slashing wrists or ingesting poison to end the suffering, as noted in Korean accounts from Palau stations. Daily chores added to the burden, forcing victims to cook, clean, and launder for their captors between sessions. In Burma and Singapore outposts, Korean women like Kim Sang-hai, taken in 1938 at 16, counted up to 30 assaults daily. In Papua New Guinea, Estimates reached 16,000 victims, including locals forced into service at Rabol brothels, serving 25 to 35 men daily. Mobile units followed front lines, relocating women in trucks during advances, exposing them to bombings. Health collapsed under malnutrition, with pregnancies terminated forcibly through crude abortions. Kang Sunay, captured at 13 in 1945, suffered stabbings and burns for non-compliance in Palau. Deaths mounted from infections, overwork, and violence. Toward war's end in 1945, many were abandoned or killed, as in Chuk Lagoon, where 70 faced execution before U.S. assaults. Post-liberation, survivors wandered, facing stigma that silenced stories for decades. Estimates place total victims at 200,000 across Asia-Pacific, with thousands in islands enduring organized horror. The system, planned from 1932 and routine until 1945, buried truths until 1990's revelations. For more on these crimes, subscribe to the channel and join us next for the episode on Nanjing's fall.